The Hedgehog and the Lost Apple. Deep in a peaceful forest where the trees stretched tall and the air smelled of fresh earth and fallen leaves, there lived a small, cheerful hedgehog named Henry. Henry was a curious little creature who loved exploring, but above all, he loved apples. To him, nothing was better than finding a sweet, juicy apple, rolling it home, and taking small, satisfying bites until his belly was full. One crisp autumn morning, as the golden sunlight trickled through the trees, Henry stumbled upon what he believed to be the best apple in the entire forest. It was big and round, with shiny red skin that gleamed as if the morning dew had polished it just for him. His little nose twitched with excitement as he carefully placed the apple on a tree stump near his favorite oak tree. He admired it for a moment, imagining how delicious it would taste. "This is going to be the best apple I've ever eaten," he said with a happy sigh. But just as he turned away to find a cozy spot to enjoy his prize, a strong gust of wind rushed through the forest, shaking the trees and rustling the leaves. Henry watched in horror as his precious apple wobbled on the stump, then tumbled to the ground and started rolling down the hill. "Oh no!" he cried. "My apple!" Without wasting a second, Henry dashed after it as fast as his tiny legs could carry him. The apple bounced and rolled, disappearing into the trees ahead. Henry hurried through the undergrowth, dodging twigs and leaping over fallen leaves, determined to catch up to his runaway treat. But when he reached the bottom of the hill, the apple was nowhere in sight. Henry's little heart sank, but he refused to give up. He sniffed the air and looked around, searching for any sign of where it had gone. Just then, he spotted his friend Squirrel busily gathering acorns beneath a tall oak tree. "Squirrel!" Henry called, slightly out of breath. "Have you seen a big red apple roll past here?" Squirrel twitched his nose and nodded. "Oh yes, it rolled right past me and went toward the stream." Henry's quills bristled with excitement. "Thank you," he said, scurrying off toward the water. When he arrived at the stream, the water sparkled in the sunlight, rippling gently over smooth stones. Henry spotted Frog sitting lazily on a lily pad, humming to himself. "Frog," Henry called, "did you see my apple? Squirrel said it came this way." Frog gave a thoughtful croak and nodded. "Indeed I did. Your apple floated down the stream, bobbing up and down. But before it could drift too far, a little bird swooped down and carried it away." Henry's eyes widened. "A bird took it?" "Yes," Frog said. "It was Robin. She must have thought it was something special." Henry thanked Frog and hurried along the forest path, following the sweet sound of birdsong until he reached another tall tree, where Robin was perched on a branch. "Robin," Henry called, "did you take my apple?" Robin fluttered down and tilted her head. "Oh, Henry, it was such a shiny, beautiful apple. I thought it was a lost treasure, so I picked it up, but it was too heavy for me, and I dropped it in the meadow." Henry let out a sigh of relief. "Thank you, Robin. I'll go find it." With renewed energy, he rushed toward the meadow, his tiny feet pattering against the soft earth. As he reached the open field, the warm sunlight bathed the tall grass in a golden glow. Henry scanned the area, his heart pounding with hope. And then, there it was. Nestled in the soft grass just beneath a swaying wildflower sat his apple. It was as perfect as before, untouched and gleaming in the sun. Henry squeaked with joy as he picked it up, holding it close as if it might try to escape again. Finally, after all his searching, Henry curled up beneath a shady tree, cradling his precious apple in his little paws. He took a big, crunchy bite, savoring the sweet juice as it dribbled down his chin. "This was the best apple ever," he whispered to himself, "and definitely the most exciting one to find." As the sun dipped lower in the sky, painting the forest in hues of orange and pink, Henry finished his apple with a full belly and a happy heart. From that day on, he always held onto his apples extra tightly, but he never minded a little adventure along the way. The end. So, Henry's adventure reminds us that sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination. Even when things don't go as planned, patience, determination, and the kindness of friends can help us find our way. So, no matter what you're chasing, whether it's a dream, a goal, or even a lost apple, never give up and enjoy the adventure along the way.